Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Luna Celestine, and today I welcome you into a moment that is neither past nor future, but delicately suspended in the breath between. If you are watching this on June 13th, know that what you are feeling is not random. You have just passed through one of the most spiritually invasive full moons of the year, the strawberry full moon, and although its light has faded from the sky, it has not yet faded from you. This was not a soft lunar kiss. It was a complete energetic reorientation, one that did not ask for permission before entering the hidden corners of your nervous system and emotional body. And now, on the very first day after that cosmic threshold, the call is clear. Isolate, not to run away, but to listen, to integrate, to protect the fragile threads of transformation that are still weaving themselves together inside of you. This is the moment when your old frequencies no longer fit, but your new ones have not fully formed. And in that space of spiritual in-between, your body, mind, and soul begin to whisper. You may feel exhausted in a way that no amount of sleep can fix, or strangely detached from people, places, and thoughts that once felt familiar. You may feel the urge to cry for no reason, to crave something you cannot name, to walk through your day like you are half here and half somewhere ancient and unspoken. This is not a breakdown, it is a breakthrough, and this is why the first day after the full moon is sacred. In the stillness of isolation, you are not abandoning the world, you are becoming ready to meet it again with new eyes, new senses, and a clearer truth. To stay with me as we walk through this luminous aftermath together and allow the healing to unfold in ways your mind may not yet understand, but your soul has already accepted. The energy of the strawberry full moon is not something the mind can fully grasp, because it was never meant to be understood intellectually. It was meant to be felt, absorbed, and survived. This was not just a beautiful celestial event to admire through a telescope or from your balcony. It was a direct transmission, an energetic intrusion that moved through the veil between the heavens and your inner being. Its light was invasive in the most sacred sense. It bypassed your defenses, illuminated what you hadn't dared to look at, and rewired subtle systems within you that govern not just your emotions, but the way you perceive emotion itself. It did not knock on the door politely. It entered, and it altered. What you are experiencing now may feel like loneliness, like emotional distance, like confusion about why your connections suddenly feel flat, or why familiar conversations now leave you feeling strangely empty. But what you're truly feeling is a silent upgrade. Your system, your heart, your intuition, your very frequency has shifted, and it no longer resonates with the old echoes that used to feel like home. The people, patterns, and energies that once held you have not become wrong or broken. They are simply no longer aligned with where your soul is going. This lunar activation has pushed you beyond them, quietly, almost imperceptibly at first, until suddenly everything around you began to feel unfamiliar, as if the emotional air itself had changed texture. This is not disconnection, it is advancement. You are not falling behind, you are being pulled forward, and in that space between the old and the new, there is a natural ache, a kind of echoing silence that feels like absence but is actually preparation. You are being invited to hold your energy at this new vibration, to not reach backward for comfort, but to stand still and let the new resonance find you. The strawberry full moon has carved a pathway that leads inward first and only then outward. And if you allow this shift to complete without rushing to fill the quiet, you will find that you are not alone. You are just finally attuned to something far more refined. What many are experiencing in the wake of this strawberry full moon is not chaos, not instability, but rather a subtle unraveling of the old energetic architecture. Symptoms that may seem mundane on the surface, but are in truth signs of profound internal transition. The loneliness you feel is not a void where love should be. It is the space left behind when your energy no longer fits the old emotional frameworks. You are not unloved. You are simply no longer resonating with what once held you. This sensation of being off, of feeling lost in your own life, is not a flaw in your path. It is a sign that your internal compass is being recalibrated toward a new direction. Sleep, once a gentle place of rest, has become strangely active. Even with your eyes closed, your body seems to remain alert, as though a part of you continues scanning the energetic terrain. Unwilling to fully let go, you are not resting in the way you once did, because your system is not resetting, it is restructuring. The nervous system is doing its sacred work in the background, integrating the high frequencies that the full moon flooded you with. And in that space of partial rest, you may wake feeling not exactly tired, but unfinished, like you were pulled out of a deeper process before it could complete. Emotionally, you might find yourself unraveling at the edges without knowing why. A song that once brought joy may now bring tears. A quiet moment may suddenly stir a grief you thought you had buried. This isn't regression. This is emergence. The moon has loosened the tightly wound knots in your emotional body, allowing stored feelings, those you didn't have the time or space to process when they first arrived, to rise gently but insistently to the surface. These aren't breakdowns. They are flushes, waves of inner truth finally being given room to move. Mentally, there is a sense of disorientation that may be difficult to explain. You may find yourself forgetting small tasks, losing track of time, zoning out in the middle of conversations. And though it may feel frustrating, it is not a lack of focus, it is a redirection of focus. Your brain, your consciousness, is being retuned to a more intuitive rhythm, one that is not based on linear thought, but on emotional resonance. What used to feel efficient now feels irrelevant. What used to feel important now feels hollow. And in the quiet confusion of it all, something new is making space to bloom. This is the sacred dissonance of transformation. You are not malfunctioning, you are reforming. Let the symptoms speak, let the tears fall, let the stillness stretch. Because you are not losing yourself, you are returning to the frequency that was always yours, just waiting for the moon to unlock it. One of the more mysterious and often overlooked signs that your energy field is undergoing deep recalibration is the sudden emergence of physical cravings. Intense, specific, and seemingly irrational. You may find yourself yearning for sharp flavors like vinegar or citrus, or for something bitter, earthy, or unusually textured. Old things may call to you without warning, or you might crave a particular crunch, something salty followed by something sweet, or combinations that would never have made sense to your palate before. This is not hunger in the conventional sense. It is communication. Your body, far wiser than we often give it credit for, is speaking through desire, reaching instinctively for elements that can restore what was energetically dislodged during the full moon surge. After an energetic event as penetrating as the strawberry full moon, your internal chemistry subtly shifts. The nervous system has been overstimulated, your sensory awareness heightened, and your energetic field saturated. In response, your cells begin sending signals, not in words, but in flavor, in texture, in sensation. You are not eating to fill a stomach, you are responding to a spiritual recalibration that is being guided by your body's primal intelligence. These strange cravings are not weaknesses or whims, they are invitations to listen more closely, to surrender to a language older than thought, one written in the textures of earth and sensation. The body remembers what the mind cannot yet explain. And then there is the restlessness. A quiet but persistent pull just beneath the surface of your awareness, as if something is asking you to move, to speak, to go somewhere or reach for something without giving you a clear map. You may find yourself pacing with no clear destination, opening your phone only to forget why, walking into a room and standing still, as if your presence alone was the task. This is not anxiety, it is not aimlessness, it is a spiritual magnetism, your inner compass, once calibrated to an old reality, has been untethered and is now searching for its new alignment. You are not meant to act on this impulse yet. You are meant to notice it, to feel how it stirs in your ribs, in your chest, in the soles of your feet. That motion without direction is the signal that a new path is preparing to unfold, but not from logic, from frequency. Let yourself wander in these sensations without demanding an answer. Trust that your system knows how to find its rhythm again, not through force, but through attunement. This is not disorientation. This is emergence. You are not off track. You are tuning in. What you are moving through right now is not fatigue in the way the world defines it. It is not simple exhaustion, nor is it the consequence of overwork or overstimulation. This is not a burnout that can be soothed with a weekend of rest or a temporary escape. It is something far deeper, quieter, and more sacred. It is a spiritual recalibration, a realignment that happens when your inner systems have absorbed more light, more emotional charge, more truth than they were previously designed to hold. You have not been broken, you have been opened. And now, the parts of you that once operated on habit, on routine, on inherited emotional scripts, are being slowly and tenderly rewritten. In this strange in-between, you are not being asked to do more, fix more, or prove more. You are being asked to feel, to allow your internal compass to stop pointing to the well-worn roots of logic and instead begin responding to the quieter hum of emotional resonance. This is the part of the journey where action is no longer powered by pressure, but by presence, where decisions are no longer made from fear or obligation, but from truth that rises gently in the body before it forms words in the mind. The strawberry full moon has activated this shift by clearing the debris, by pulling forward the emotional patterns that no longer align with who you are becoming, and by making space for a new rhythm to emerge. Not driven by external expectation, but by the subtle knowing that lives in your chest, your belly, your breath. And now, as you notice the way your memories feel blurred, the way certain conversations slip from your grasp, or the details of your past week dissolve like mist, know that this too is part of the process. You are not forgetting, you are being refined. Your system is choosing what to carry forward based not on chronology, but on energetic significance. What fades was never meant to define you. What remains is the essence, the intention, the emotional imprint, the soul's light. You are being invited to move not from the mind's record of events, but from the heart's deep remembrance of meaning. This is the sacred prioritization of the soul, a shedding of the unnecessary, a soft release of weight that no longer serves. And in this gentle unhooking, you are not losing anything essential. You are, in fact, coming into contact with something far more lasting, the clarity of who you are without the noise, without the repetition, without the performance. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment you begin writing from within. So now, beloved soul, as you sit within this strange hush that follows the storm of light, let yourself be still. Let the noise fall away, not just the noise of the world, but the noise inside you that tries to make sense of everything too quickly. This is not a time for answers. It is a time for listening, for waiting, for trusting that the very disorientation you feel is proof that something sacred is happening beneath the surface. You are not broken. You are being rewritten, recalibrated, renewed. The fatigue, the cravings, the confusion, the tears, they are not signs of weakness, but signs that your system is receiving a new template, one shaped not by the past, but by the soul you are becoming. The strawberry full moon has done more than just illuminate the night. It has burned through the filters you once used to interpret this world, and now as the light recedes, what remains is something raw, honest, and unshaped. The world may look flatter, quieter, even surreal, but that is because it is waiting for you. A blank page, a sacred pause, a soft breath before the next becoming. And you, luminous one, are the author now. Write carefully, write from the heart, write from the frequency of who you truly are. Let the silence guide you. Let the stillness become your teacher. Because the old story has ended, and the next one begins with you. And now, as we gently arrive at the end of this space we've shared together, I want to speak to you not just as a guide beneath the stars, but as someone who has walked through these same waves of strange silence, of tender unraveling, of deep wordless recalibration. I know what it feels like to question your own rhythms, to wonder if you're falling apart when in truth, you're falling into alignment. I know what it's like to wake up in a body that feels unfamiliar, to cry without warning, to crave something you can't name, not because you're lost, but because something ancient inside you has been touched. And everything old is shifting to make room for the new. So if you're feeling quieter than usual, softer around the edges, more sensitive to light, sound, words, and time, it's okay. In fact, it's more than okay, it's divine. You are not meant to rush through this. You are meant to notice, to breathe, to let your system speak, because healing is not always loud. Sometimes it arrives like this, slow, strange, disorienting, and utterly sacred. I created this video because I've lived these moments, and I want you to know you're not alone in them. You're not the only one waking up with a lump in your throat, or pacing without purpose, or wondering why yesterday's joys feel suddenly out of tune. You are part of a much larger unfolding, a wave of souls being retuned to a truer, clearer frequency. And that takes courage, that takes surrender, that takes trust. So from my heart to yours, I honor your stillness, I honor your confusion, I honor your cravings, your tears, your pauses, and your strange new perceptions. They are not distractions from the path, they are the path. I'm Luna Celestine, and I will always be here, walking alongside you between the veils, reading the signs with you in the stars, and reminding you, gently and with love, that this life is a sacred remembering. Until we meet again in the light of the next moon, take exquisite care of your energy. You are becoming something beautiful. Don't rush it. And if this journey spoke to you, let it echo forward. Share your thoughts, your feelings, your whispers from the in-between. You never know who needs to hear your story. I'll be reading, and I'll be here, always.